It's Dress Down Friday, Friday, Friday. It's Dress Down Friday, Friday. Whew, it's finally Friday. Hey, look, we rocked out all week. We had a good week, and I appreciate you. You ever had to tell anybody, go F yourself? Because, we try to keep it, PG around here with no cursing, but you get the drift of what I'm saying. And so I wanted to say that because have you ever had anybody who, even though it might have been your birthday or your birthday week, but every time you encounter them, they treat stuff like it's their birthday? So, had this one young lady, good friend at times, whatever. But you talk to her and you start to feel like, wait a minute, even if it weren't my birthday, am I doing you a service, or like are we like here together, trying to do something for one another? So let me break it down a little bit. So somebody, how that somebody is, you get that text out of the blue, hey stranger, hey you, what's going on, whatever. And, you ain't heard from this person in like, 2-3 months or whatever. And then they just hit you up. So you got, as a guy, got a little bit of excitement, like, oh, wait a minute. We back in the game, player. You know what I'm saying? And so she hits you up and it's like, you thinking to yourself, okay, this sometimes goes well, but then other times it doesn't go well. And recently it's really not going well. So, but you still, because you like the person, so you still take the shot. You still take the risk. So you text them back and you say, hey, look, what's going on with you? They text you back, oh, nothing. Just wanted to go out and eat or do something such and such. So you say, okay, cool. But because, we're men and some of us are men of a certain age, like I've always talked about, the clock is ticking. There's less time for games. All right. More time for reality and gut checks. So, just as my own built-in insurance policy, because, hey, we don't want people doing stuff that they don't want to do, right? So I said, hey, listen, if we go eat, you're coming back with me, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you how recently this is, but if you're going to eat, you're going to come back with me, right? And, I said some other stuff. So, and when you get this, be thankful, guys. Be thankful. So they text back, well, the first part, cool. I ain't sure about the latter part. Like, wait a minute. Because I think we made one a couple weeks ago. You should check it out if you haven't. Don't beg anybody to spend your money. All right. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm grown. And this other person is grown, right? So you're thinking to yourself, like, is this person trying to play me? Why are you calling me out of the blue for me to take you somewhere? And then you don't want to have any like fun after that. So then I start thinking to myself, I'm like, because I'm sure that, everybody out there is dealing with somebody or doing whatever. But it's funny how it's rarely reciprocal where the person says to you, hey, look, because this is really what etiquette is. Etiquette is that if I invite you out somewhere, I pay for it. But because we're trained in the society, it's, the guy pays for everything and that's cool. But if the guy is paying, what is he paying for? Because let's face it, most of us got our own places to live. So guess what you can do? You can say, hey, look, I wanted to kick it with you. And guess what? Maybe I'm hungry at the same time. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cook for you. Or maybe I'll come over, we'll get together, and we'll take it from there. And the reason I bring this up, because in so many words, because I'm a gentleman, I basically had to tell the person, go F themselves. Because we as people, especially as we start getting older, because like I tell you, primarily I feel like I'm talking to people 35 and older. So there has to still be a standard of being. And if you know that you're a certain standard of a person, you cannot allow substandard behavior. I mean, we all botch up and make a mistake, but for the most part, you cannot allow yourself to be caught in substandard behavior. And when somebody is going to tell you that, especially somebody you've already been with or dealt with on an intimate level, is going to spring that they want you to take them to eat, but then in return you get nothing but a what is this, like a meet and greet? Hey, how you doing? Excuse me, garçon, let me pay for everything that she wants to eat, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to meet like I don't know her already, right? And then we're going to greet, hey, and then what? We leave and go our separate ways? Because see, a younger person and me would have played the game. And see, this is what I mean about, you having your own standard, knowing where you want to be with certain things and how you want things to flow. Because ultimately, you are the dictator of how people treat you. If you allow people, and God knows I've allowed it to happen to me before too, especially with women. If you allow somebody to treat you a certain kind of way, that's how they're going to continue to treat you. All right? That's how they're going to continue to treat you. Especially when you're talking about dating. So, because nobody ever gets, I don't care if you go to Fridays nowadays, nobody ever gets off the hook paying less than $50, $60, $70. And some people may think that that's cheap, but guess what? When you're raising kids, especially when you got little kids too, listen, I don't want to hear about the cheap stuff, because in all reality, most of that money or most of the things that you're focused on should be going towards them anyway. But, hey, look, if you're going to play, because like I was talking to my buddy Mike today, and we were talking about this, if you're going to play, I'd rather you say, hey, listen, look, dog, you know what I mean? I'm hungry, but I know you want to see me, and more than just seeing me. So look, here you go. I'm just gonna come over, kick it with you. I need an electric bill paid, or I need something. You get the drift of what I'm saying. Because why in a lot of these cases does it have to be a one-way situation? Now, even with me, I would even have let the person off the hook and been like, you know what, it's cool, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's never a deal where a person, especially with a woman, says, hey, look, you're a good guy. You're a decent guy. You're a decent person. Because most times, a girl's not going to hit you up out of nowhere, especially after it's been months, or a woman hits you up out of nowhere after it's been months, if she doesn't already think that, if she doesn't already have something that she likes about you, used to like about you, or, how you made her feel, whatever it is. So she rarely is just going to hit you up out of the blue unless she's, one, bored, two, wants a free meal, right? Because, and some of these shenanigans just got to stop. But the only way they stop is you got to have men who stand up and stop it. Because, I've made jokes in prior videos how, I like to vet women out at the corner bakery. All right. So corner bakery, if you don't have one wherever you're at, they make really good paninis and, some breakfast food and stuff like that. But because the thing is that you want to be able to sit and talk to a person and deal with a person and get to know a person. But that's another topic. Go F yourself. Because you feel as though what you want and need is more important than what I want or need. And, let's face it. It comes to time. We all got to start being honest. If you want something from somebody and you don't say it, well, guess what? You're culpable also. You're as goofy, and I've been goofy. You're as goofy as the person that's not giving it to you. Because, hey, look, listen, please believe me. If there is somebody out there, if a woman wants to take me on a date and be like, yo, Greg, especially when I know, because I do follow some manly code things, I don't mind paying the first couple of times going out. But if somebody I already knew and had a history with, hit me up out of the blue, hey, stranger, hey, big head, all that other kind of stuff, and said, let's go out to eat and say, you know what? I got you. Your birthday just passed. I got you. You always been a dope guy to me. I got you. Why is that so hard? Why is it so hard to get most women, and I'm not saying all because we never blanket anybody, but why is it so hard? And I know in my experience and a lot of guys' experiences that I know, it's so hard to get women just to say, hey, you know what, man? You're a good guy. Let me spend $50, $60 on you. And you know how guys are. I wouldn't even knock somebody's head off with it. I wouldn't be ordering 18 lemon drops and let me get the tomahawk steak and all that other kind of stuff. Or like one time I was telling my buddy Jake, I take a girl out. She orders a burger with crab meat on top of it. A $30-something hamburger. And guess what? I wound up dropping her off. She went her way. I went my way. I ain't even want to see her really after that anymore. You go somewhere out for a lunch date and you order a crab burger. Once again, it's not even necessarily about the cost. It's about the effect. That people will go and do these things. I never even seen anybody eat a hamburger with crab on it. I guess that's cheap surf and turf. But to go and do something like that, and then at the end to say, bye-bye, you know, Negro, I'm not going to even take you and buy you any ice cream. I'm not going to do anything for you. You had the privilege to see me get dressed, smell good, get in your car, or either meet you over there so that way you can feed me like you're my dad. And you get to go and drop me off like you were my dad chaperoning me somewhere to get something to eat. I ain't looking to be nobody's dad except the 2 little girls I got to raise. I don't want to be nobody else's dad. So, when you find and you feel like people start treating you like that, you tell them, you know what? I'm cool. Go F yourself. Because any stimulation, anything I could do, I could figure out another way. Because I'm just like everybody else. My electric bill is high. Gas bill is high. All this other kind of stuff is high too. So you know what? Instead of me spending $70, $80, $90, $100 to sit and look at you, okay, even though you might look good, but to spend that money just to sit and look at you with it's just like you know, your 401k or something with a low yield of return. What is the point at certain ages? Either you feeling the kid or you're not. And if you're not, that's okay, because there's somebody else who will. And lastly, let me leave you with this, because we kind of wanted to make it as a double entendre. All right. So look at it like this. Now it's the weekend. So I want you to go F yourself in a good way, though. Yeah, I mean, go throw something nice on, you know, go out, just go out for the heck of it. You know, hang out somewhere, you know, go on a date. If you ain't got nobody to go on a date with, I'm sorry, let me use proper English. If you do not have anyone to go on a date with, go on a date with yourself. Go with yourself. All right. If you got a husband, wife, y'all ain't got the kids, you got a sitter or somebody, go on a date. Go out. Go have a ball. It's the weekend. It's dating time. So you go out there and do it. And lastly, that's what you do. Go F yourself. Use the F and say, hey, look, I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean, you know what I mean? Or F, I'm going to go find me somebody else. I'm going to go find me somebody greater. Or, you know, I'll just freak myself. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, you get the point of what I'm saying. But if somebody's getting on your nerves, somebody's not on your tight time, somebody's being a jerk, whether it's dating, whether it's anything else, yeah, I mean, just use that old one. My grandmother used to use it so good. Get out of here. You might as well go F yourself. But hey, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. But yo, have a great weekend, and we're going to be right back at it on Monday. And you know how it goes. My brother Carl Williams, he says it to me, texts it to me all the time. Back to me. Live life. Don't let life live you.